Hi, I'm Chloe Bennett and I am on staff here at YWAM WYLIE, and I wanted to share with you guys about a few things that God has been speaking to me about this unique season that we're in with COVID-19. About a week ago, I was actually felt really tired. I don't really know why. I just remember because I was tired, I was really frustrated, and so because I was frustrated, I went to God. So as I was seeking God and leaning into Him, God asked me this question: Chloe, are you surviving or are you thriving? And that really struck my heart. God led me to Exodus 32, verses 1 through 6. And I really started to thinking about this verse, about these few verses, and it made me realize like we can do the same thing as the Israelites did. The Israelites, they were in a really uncertain season of their life. They weren't sure if Moses was going to be coming back down from the mountain or not. But because they were uncertain, they went to hardcore survival mode. They went into a mode that where they decided to turn to the things that they used to know. And what they used to know when they were in Egypt was worshiping idols, and they turned back to that instead of leaning into God. But also too, like the Israelites, they miss what God was doing in this time of uncertainty. They were missing the fact that God was actually speaking to Moses about how he was going to help them get through this uncertain season of being in a wilderness time. And I just realized like we can do that as the same thing. Like we can turn back to the things that we used to know and do, and goes back to the things that we know and that are security, just like the Israelites did with the golden idol. Like we can turn to, whether that's YouTube or social media or anything like that, like we can turn to those things instead and just decide to survive instead. And one of the things that God did for me, or showed me, was actually I was watching too much YouTube, and so I decided to take YouTube off my phone so that way I'm not watching YouTube videos as much as I was going to. Now I just want to like kind of talk about like, okay, so what's the difference between surviving and thriving? So surviving is we miss people who are around us. We're driven by selfish motive. We turn to worldly things. And also too, we miss what God is doing. Thriving is we see people how God sees them. Thriving is driven by a loving motive. Thriving is we reach out instead of seeking distraction. And thriving is seeing God in the chaos. As children of God, we're called to be conquerors. And you know, guys, conquerors, they thrive. They decide to, you know what, even in the season, I'm going to choose to thrive and I'm going to put my all in this. And, you know, whenever we have victory, like we're deciding to thrive. And so God has called us not to just survive all of this, but also to thrive and to really move forward and to really grow in this time. And so I just want to have the question for you guys, like, and to think about is, are you surviving or are you thriving in this unique season that we're in? And really think about it and go to God and ask Him, like, okay, am I really surviving, or am I just thriving? And if you say that you're surviving, then I want to encourage you, like, go and ask God, how can you not just survive this season, but to thrive? What do you need to ask God, like, what do you need to lay down in this season? So that way you can really thrive in this season and grow closer to God. And if you say, hey, I'm thriving, I feel like I'm doing great, then still go and ask God, like, how can you thrive even more? Because guys, there's always more. There's always more that God wants to do in us. And there's, you know, we're always have the ability to continue to thrive. I want to encourage y'all to go and ask, because guys, when we're thriving, like, we're more free. We have more of the freedom to feel like we can reach out to people. I want to encourage y'all, choose to thrive in this time, because thriving will really see people come to know who Jesus is and really know who God is, because our God is a God of thriving, not just of surviving. And so, yeah, have a blessed day.